ॐ शुक्लांबरधरं विष्णुं शशिवर्णं चतुर्भुजं प्रसन्नवदनं ध्यायेत् सर्वविघ्नोपशान्तये। सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
Bhagavad Gita, chapter 17, verses 5 and 6. Please read 5 and 6 together.
अशास्त्रविहितं घोरं तप्यन्ते ये तपोजनाः दम्भाहंकारसंयुक्ताः कामरागबलान्विताः कर्षयन्तः शरीरस्थं भूतग्राममचेतसः मां चैवान्तः शरीरस्थं तान् विद्यासुरनिश्चयान्।
Generally, those who have got Shraddha in the Shastras and yet do not follow the Vidhi, the injunctions, the norms of the Shastras, are rare, being Sattvic. Those who are Sattvic have got Shraddha in the Shastra, and yet, because they don't know or they have not taken things to know, they do not follow the Shastra but do with Shraddhas. Such people are rare. More of them are in the Sattvic category and Rajasic category, having demonic disposition. So therefore, these people take to such karmas which are not told in the Shastras, very cruel, endowed with dambha, ahankara, and all those things. They torture everyone, including me, Paramatma, who is abiding in their body. So such people are certainly asura nishchaya. Their value structure is asuric, demonic in quality. The Bhasya of 6th we are seeing from Tan Vidhi Asura Nishchaya. Read.
तान् विद्धि आसुरनिश्चयान् आसुरः निश्चयः येषां ते आसुरनिश्चयाः तान् परिहरणार्थं विद्धि इति उपदेशः।
Such people, Asura Nishchayan Vidhi, please know to be having ascertainment, which is fit for asuras and demons only. Asuraha nishchayaha yesham. A demonic resolution, a demonic determination. So they asura nishchayaha. Such people are asura nishchayaha. Means dambha, showing one's religious greatness. Truly not so. Ahankara, ego, considering themselves to be something superior. Parapedana, harassing the others. All these are asura dharmas, values cherished by demonic people. All these they have got. So therefore, such they are what? Those who do all these things are asuric in nature only. Now, why Krishna is telling all these things? Not to imbibe, but to get rid of. Pariharanartham vidhi iti upadesha. Upadesha, this advice in describing all this for the sake of pariharanartham vidhi, so that a mumukshu should, not only mumukshu, any dharmic person should avoid them. See, you should not only know what needs to be done, but you should also know what should not be done. Like the diets for a patient or for a common man also. One should know what should be eaten. One should know what should not be eaten. So like that, in life, we should know what should be done. Equally, we should know what should not be done, and they need to be meticulously avoided. If you come to a mukshu, value structures are special. For example, for a common man, Vishaya Bhoga is natural. Vishaya Bhoga means what? Sense pleasures. Indulging in pleasures of senses. But he should do one thing. He should follow the dharma meticulously. In having bhoga, Vishaya Bhoga, sense pleasure, one should see that dharma is not violated. Conduct must be in accordance with the dharma. If that is the case, Shastra allows for this person. But if you are a mumukshu, the same sense pleasure is something which is not at all desirable for you. You know why? If you are mukshu, what does it mean? It means that you want to know directly what is Atma, identical with Ishvara, Brahma is. You want to be aware of your real nature, for which you have to experience it. Presently, you are experiencing yourself, no doubt. But with all features of samsara, with all features of upadhis, that upadhi mixed anubhava is what? Is a topsy-turvy anubhava. It is not true to my nature. Our anubhava must be free from the features of this upadhi, for which what we have to do? We have to bring back our extrovert mind from the preoccupation in the Vishayas. But this pull toward the Vishayas is so strong because we have been indulging in that since beginningless time in all past births. It needs extra efforts. Here, we should keep in mind what is that which facilitates our extrovertedness or our preoccupation in the Vishayas. Two things. One, the notion, erroneous notion that the Vishayas are Satya, Jagat is Satya. Number two, our identification of the body. So long as we are identified in the body, Vishaya Jagat is inevitable. First casualty of Vedanta is identification of the body. And if we continue with our Vishaya Bhoga, sense indulgence, we are strengthening, intensifying two things. They are Jagat is real, Vishaya sense objects are real, I am the body. This is the why Vairagya is emphasized. Any Vishaya Bhoga first takes for granted I am the body and the Jagat Vishaya is real. So more and more bhogas, more and more indulgence in sense pleasure, what does it do? Intensify, identify the body and the reality of the Vishaya Jagat. This is what we have to get rid of. So therefore, though for a common man, Vishaya Bhoga is permitted to some extent with dharmic conduct. For mumukshu, they are harmful in the sense they strengthen what you want to get rid of. For every plus of your spiritual practice, there is minus of what? Vishaya Bhoga. Plus, minus. Join together, you know what will happen. So therefore, to be avoided. Now here, this person is much more degraded. So by all means, such asuric nishchayas should be avoided. Now with respect to ahara, food also, food, yajna, tapas. These also, depending on the value structures of the person, they are sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. A mumukshu should avoid rajasic and tamasic ahara, yajna, tapa, dana, etc. and take to sattvic ones. Read Bhasya, Prasthana Bhasya is long one. Read Bhasya.
आहार
Ahara.
आहाराणांच रस्य स्निग्धादि वर्गत्रय रूपेण भिन्नानां यथाक्रमं सात्विक राजस तामस पुरुष प्रियत्व दर्शनम इह क्रियते.
Iha kriyate. Here, what Bhagavan is doing is showing the fondness, liking of people of different types of aharas based on their sattvic disposition, rajasic disposition, tamasic disposition. So, from your choice of food, to some extent, you can find out to which disposition you belong. Other way also. If your choice is for rajasic and tamasic food, better avoid it. Develop the liking for sattvic food. So therefore, aharana, in the case of food, of course, here food is edible food. In general sense, ahara can mean any intake at all sense organs level. The form we see is ahara for the eyes, the sound we hear is ahara for the ears, the smell you smell is ahara for nose, taste for the tongue, touch for the skin, so like that. Now here in terms of eating, aharana, food is of different types. What are they? Rasya. Rasya means rasavan in the sense nutritious. Snigdha. Snigdha means not dry, oily. See, oily content, whether oil or ghee, to certain extent is necessary for the body. Food should not be dry. At the same time, it doesn't mean fry one, not fried one. That is also snigdha, but it is not desirable. But otherwise, in the food, oil, that is sneha, means viscous. So oil, ghee are necessary within certain limits. Actually, it is because of modern lifestyle, sedentary lifestyle. Olden days, the physical exertion is so much that a person who consumes more ghee is called what? Was more strong. Even the saying was there, Ayurvai Ghrutam. Ghee is a longevity of life because it gives so much of energy. Nowadays, now see how we have become advanced in our lifestyle. Ghrutam, why Ghrutam? Ghee means what? Death, cholesterol. Whether cholesterol is cause for cardiac disease or cardiac what? Inefficiency produces cholesterol is even today scientifically not proved. But in practice in the medical field, cholesterol myth is parading. Even these, what are those? Interventions. Bypass, what is the other? The angioplasty. Scientifically, they are not proved to be the remedies. This is the conclusion arrived by few top medical journalists after reviewing the report from all over the world, maybe about 8-10 years back. Not whether cholesterol damages the heart or damage the heart produces the cholesterol excessive. Otherwise, cholesterol is necessary. Dr. B.M. Hegde says, if your cholesterol is high, be happy that your liver is functioning properly. But they have not yet arrived. Finally, they have concluded what? After showing that these things are not scientifically proved, but final remark is, but let the present practice continue. Somebody gave a rejoinder. Yes, let the present practice of bypass and angioplasty continue because it is the Niagara Fall of dollars. Dollars, because it's from the West. Bypass and angioplasty, you spend money. Anyway, so Russia, it is necessary. I don't know, this is just my observation, may be wrong. Nowadays, these knee transplants have become more. I don't know whether it has got a connection with avoiding ghee for the sake of cholesterol. Because some viscous thing is required for the body. I'm not sure about that. I'm not a doctor. But it may be. Another observation I'm telling you. I may be wrong. Nowadays, brain hemorrhages are more in the elderly people. Kidney failures are more. Directly related drugs. They will not accept that. They'll put a label and then forget about it. For example, as far as cardiac problem is detected, I think they give something like neosporin or something. Aspirin is refined, etc. It has a capacity to dilute the blood. It does help the cardiac patients, but slowly it develops adverse effect in course of years because of the dilute this thing, ruptures of nerves in the brain. I know a case where I'm a student only, died of course, at the age of 80 or something, died of brain hemorrhage because doctor said at this age, surgery is not advisable. He died of that. He was under the medication of his son-in-law, who was a MD consultant. And this person had undergone bypass about 18, 19 years back. But he maintained his health with walking, etc., etc. But all along, he was taking this medicine, which dilutes this thing. When he passed away, the doctor's son-in-law remarked, the medicine that had saved his life for 19 years has taken away his life. So that being the case, it should be Rus. This is my observation, may be wrong. Russia, that is, I am telling you, in medical science also, everything is fluid only. Only thing is that the patient becomes the guinea pig. In such cases, patients need to be educated to take a right decision, not depending on the advice of this. Of course, they have to be bold. Rasya snigdha, oily. Adi, the groups like bitter, sour, saline of these groups. Adi, varga traya rupena. 3 categories. One is rasya, nutritious. Second is snigdha, that is oily, not fried. Then third is the group of katu, amla, lavana, etc. Pungent, too much of chili, sour, saline, and such taste. Third category. See, in these ways, food belongs to 3 main categories. Bhinnana, of this food of these varieties, which are different. Yathakramam, one by one. First sattvic, the rasya, snigdha, katu, etc. Satvika, rajasa, tamasa, purusha, priyatva, darshanam, ya kriyate. Here, kriyate, that means show that. So, among these, one by one, which is dear to the sattvic people, which is dear to rajasic people, which is dear to the tamasic people, is being done now. Continue.
रस्य स्निग्धादिषु आहारविशेषेषु आत्मनः प्रीत्यतिरेकेण लिङ्गेन सात्विकत्वं राजसत्वं तामसत्वं च बुद्ध्वा रजस्तमोलिङ्गानाम् आहाराणां परिवर्जनार्थं सत्त्वलिङ्गानां च उपादानार्थं तथा यज्ञादीनामपि सत्त्वादिगुणभेदेन त्रिविधत्वप्रतिपादनम् इह राजसतामसान् बुद्ध्वा कथन्नु नाम परित्यज्येत् सात्विकान् एव अनुतिष्ठेत् इति एवमर्थम् आहारस्त्वपीति.
This is why Bhagavad is telling all this in detail. See, Adhyatma Shastra, and he's talking of what is correct to eat, what is not to eat, etc. It has got the bearing on the mind. In terms of Sattva Guna, Rajoguna, Tamoguna, you have to be very careful about it. Yataha, because rasya snigdhadishu ahara vishesheshu. Ahara vishesheshu. In specific type of food which are of such nature. Rasya, nutritious. Snigdha, having oil content, not dry. Adi, katu, amla, lavana, etc., sour, etc. Atmana, prityatirekena. Atmana here, not Satyajat Atma, of one's, of an individual. Of every Atmana means of every individual. Prityatirekena. Because of excessive love for specific type of food. Atirikena lingena, by the mark of excessive love for a specific type of food among rasya, snigdha, and katu, etc. What can be known? Buddhva, by this having known. What are known? Satvikatvam, Rajasatvam, Tamasatvam cha Buddha. Having come to know one's disposition, whether it is sattvic, rajasic, or tamasic, having known rajastamolingana aharana. Rajastamolingana aharana. Parivarjanartham. To avoid, parivarjanartham means to avoid the food lingana marked, characterized by raja and tamas. Those foods characterized by rajoguna, tamoguna, for the sake of avoiding them. At the same time, sattvalinganam cha upadanartham. Upadanartham, to take to oneself, for taking in sattvalinganam aharanam. Food characterized by sattvic marks. You may wonder what the food has to do with the mental disposition. Because the most subtle aspect of the food digested goes in the constitution of the mind. You know, in our culture, on certain days, certain food is not taken. Some holy days or spiritual days, etc. Some food is not. Why? So that you can have that disposition. Shivratri, Mahashivratri, Upavasa, fasting is there. Do you know why? Not our fasting, alternate of menu, no. Bare minimum things. Some milk, some banana, one or two, etc. You know why? Less food, mind becomes less active. So, whole day and night, you reduce your food, means that much intake is less, and not sleeping all along, you get yourself preoccupied in some spirit, about say puja, parayana, all such things, spiritual activities. That day, in the entire year, taking into account the position of the moon, is the day wherein at night, at a certain period called Nishita Kala. Nishita means night, night time. The bearing of the sun on our mind is very, very minimum. That mind can get rooted more and more in spiritual achievements. For that purpose, the Mahashivratri Upavasa is taken. And that is why one keeps awake during the night by bhajans or something you do. Because otherwise you get sleep. This is the principle. Now, see the distortion of it. See the superstition aspect of it. They picked up one thing. Hey, today is Mahashivratri. You are not supposed to sleep. You are not supposed to sleep. Then for what? Play cards or see movies. Huh? Nowadays, idiot boxes are in front of you. Olden days, even today also, even nowadays also, certain small places, the cinema talkies has got whole night shows. They see the movies to keep them awake. What a farce of spiritual practice. It's not so. You begin, food has got bearing on the mind, and that day is very conducive because, one more thing, moon has got the bearing on the mind. If you have got doubt, visit a lunatic asylum on full moon day and new moon day and see what is going on there. All are in full swing. So, moon has got, because it's a presiding deity of the mind. So it becomes more and more active. But that position is such that least influences on the mind, which is meant for higher spiritual practice. Like this. So therefore, food and the mind are interconnected. This is as far as the food is concerned. Just as food is of three types, tatha means so also. Just as food is of three types, yajna, tapa, dana, etc., are also of three types depending on sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic disposition. Tatha yajnadinamapi yajna, tapa, dana, etc. Sattvadi guna bhedena, by the division of sattva guna, rajo guna, tamo guna. Trividhatva pratipadanam. Explanation establishing the threefoldness in terms of sattvic, rajasic, and tamasic. As for what? As this yajna, tapa, and dana. Iha, here it is done. And therefore, what should be done? What is the purpose of explaining all this? Bhashyakara says, Rajasa tamasan buddhva. Having known what are the Rajasa yajnas, Tamasa yajnas, danas, tapas, etc. Having known, katham nu nama parityaje. Katham nu nama. How by great effort we can get rid of them. Why great effort? Habituated. Disposition also. Mind is rajasic and tamasic. Accordingly, yajna, tapas, etc. will be there. So, katham nu nama. How come it is possible? Means you have to put forth additional extra effort. So, means sat rajasic and tamasic yajna, etc. to be given up. And what should be done? Satvikaneva anutishte. Only just as sattvic ahara is to be taken to, here also only sattvic yajna, tapa, dana, etc. to be taken to. Iti evam artham of. This is what the topic is being told by Bhagavad in this verse 7. Read the verse 7.
आहारस्त्वपि सर्वस्य त्रिविधो भवति प्रियः यज्ञस्तपस्तथा दानं तेषां भेदमिमं शृणु
सर्वस्य अपि त्रिविधः आहारः प्रियः भवति सर्वस्य अपि त्रिविधः आहारः प्रियः भवति यज्ञः प्रियः भवति तथा त्रिविधः दानं प्रियः भवति तेषाम् इमं भेदं शृणु तेषाम् इमं भेदं शृणु सर्वस्य अपि त्रिविधः आहार of all people without exception. 3 types of food become dear to them. Trividaha, 3, 4, 3 types. Priya means Ishta, becomes dear to them. Tatha, Yajnaha, 3 types of Yajna also becomes dear to them. Also, 3 types of Dana, charity become dear to them. Tesham imam bedam shunu. As far as they are concerned, imam bedam, this distinction, division, which I am going to tell you now, shunu, please listen. So, Bhagavan is introducing the topic of sattvic food, sattvic yajna, sattvic dana, etc. Same thing, rajasic and tamasic. Read Bhasya.
आहारः तु अपि सर्वस्य भोक्तुः त्रिविधः भवति प्रियः इष्टः तथा यज्ञः तथा तपः तथा दानं तेषाम् आहारादीनां भेदम् इमं वक्ष्यमाणं शृणु
Ahara topi sarvasya. Sarvasya of all people. Ahara also. The food also. What is the sarvasya of all people? Bhoktu. Those who eat the food. Trividaha bhavati. That food is of 3 types. What bhavati? Priyaha bhavati. Priya means ishtaha, liked one. There are 3 types of food liked by all people. Not all people. Certain people like certain type of food. Tatha, just as food is of 3 types, sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. So also yajna. Yajna also is sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Also tapa, ascetic practices, sattvic, rajasic, tamasic. Dana also comes. Tatha danam. So also danam. Charity. Tesham, of those. What are those? Aharadinam Vedanam. Vedam, not Vedanam. Aharadinam Vedam. A distinction between the food, yajna, tapa, dana, etc. Imam Vakshamanam, which I am going to now describe you. Shruno, please listen. He has introduced that topic. Ayuhu iti, read 8.
आयुस्सत्त्वबलारोग्य सुखप्रीतिविवर्धनाः तस्या स्निग्धा स्थिरा हृद्याः आहाराः सात्विकप्रियाः
Ayuhu. These types of food are sattvic, and those who have got sattvic disposition, they like such food. What are those? Those food which may grow or increase. Vivardhana. They increase. What? Ayuhu. Ayuhu is Jivanam. Longevity. How long a person can live. Sattva. Yes, sattva is chitta sthairya. Steadiness of the mind. Balam. Strength in the physical body and the limbs. Arogya. Health. Freedom from diseases. Sukha. Sukha, that cheerful disposition of the mind. Cheerful disposition. Ahlada. Priti. Priti. What is meant by priti here? So priti here in the sense, even after seeing or seeing others growing, prospering, progressing, you become happy. Generally, what is the trend? Seeing others growing, prospering, progressing, our stomach start burning. Hatred, jealousy, etc. No. See, means deriving delight in the good of others. Actually, it is good for us. Otherwise, you will get subjected to negative tendencies, which is harmful to you. So therefore, I say, Priti means, Tikakara nicely explains, Paresham api sampannana. Other people were sampanna, more rich, better off. Darshana, having seen them, Paramaha Harsha, being very happy. See? Otherwise, you go with the rivals. Even in terms of scholasticity. Suppose you say a scholar, be happy. Who? Such a person is there. So that if you don't have such disposition, you are more prone for cardiac risk. See, love, etc., love, attitude of service, these are very, very helpful to have the disposition which can avoid cardiac risk. Just recently, somebody sent me a video clipping. It was by, the narration was by a cardiovascular surgeon, Indian, of course, settled in US. Very busy cardiac vascular surgeon. One day, after a long hours in the OT, operation theater, doing so many, what is that? Surgeries, cardiac surgeries. I returned home and he was sitting on the dining table. Something he lifted to spoon or something to eat. Dropped down. He could not lift it. He could not move the hand. Rushed to the hospital. After scanning, it was found that there is a big growth in the brain. Of course, to cut short. Surgery was done. After 6 months, so much of medicine, etc., were there. He reduced, painkillers, he reduced, etc. After 6 months, again scanning was done. Again it has developed. Someone told him, actually it's a yogic practice also, but that person didn't know. To do one thing, meditate on that, imagine that portion and meditate by giving good thoughts. Nothing is wrong, everything is well. See, cardiac surgeon, the mental disposition of science, etc. So he thought, what is wrong in doing that? Medicines that I was taking, start doing that also. Then after what you are doing very meticulously. After 1 year, they saw after scanning, the brain is totally clear without any sign of what. And he started working as hard as earlier. Cardiac surgeon. Chota kaam nahi hai. But he was going on. After a few years, one day, a patient was rushed to the hospital and he was called. Patient is 21 years old. Cardiac arrest was there. He has already collapsed. CRP was done. Or CPR, I think. CPR. Cardiac pulmonary resuscitation. CPR. Didn't work. Then he took a bold decision with the consent of the parents. Say, look, he is gone. Just let me try a surgery. No guarantee at all. Already gone. Why not try? So there is certain, whatever procedure he did it, he is a doctor, surgeon. Surprisingly, the heart started beating. You're happy, but how long? No guarantee. He was rushed to ICU. Fortunately, he survived. Then this doctor investigated his pathological reports. 21-year-old, no, all lipid profiles are normal. All reports are normal. There is no reason whatsoever of cardiac arrest. From the laboratory standpoint, pathological standpoint, he thought, let me have a talk with the family people. He met them. I want to talk to his family. He was married and had a 4 months child. Parents said, it is not possible. You can't speak to his wife. Why? They were on the divorce. 1 month notice is there. And then the doctor said, please do one thing. Please send a message to his wife that such and such surgeon wants to speak to her. Let her decide. Message was sent. Somehow she came and met the surgeon. And was a divorce case. Found some misunderstanding over a flimsy reason. He made her understand. Meanwhile, the husband, 21 years old person, is reviving. And that way she was receptive. And afterward, when he was okay, he both met and then he counseled them. And he suggested, look, both of you can take your own decision about divorce, etc. But will you please listen to one point of mine? Postpone it for 3 months ahead. And he made to understand how the reason of misunderstanding was a flimsy one, etc. Please do one thing. Every Tuesday, both of you holding the hand of each other, please come and see me for 3 months. Afterwards, you do take what decision you want to do. The girl said, if you say so, I agree. And they were doing that. After very that this divorce, they were living happily. They think that has happened. See, some hatred, some jealousy, some this what, antagonistic idea about each other, and he became a victim of it and a cardiac problem. So love, compassion, attitude to service is better for cardiac disease than any other medicine. So that means the case. So here, so this food has got a bearing on the longevity of life. And why food? It has the bearing on the mind. And if there's sattvic disposition, this is what? Risks are less. I'm not talking about the cardiac only. Otherwise, it's conducive for spiritual practices. We'll see other, so that's sattva, etc. Om.
स्वस्ति प्रजाभ्यः परिपालयन्ताम् न्याय्येन मार्गेण महीं महिषाः गोब्राह्मणेभ्यः शुभमस्तु नित्यम् लोकाः समस्ताः सुखिनो भवन्तु काले वर्षतु पर्जन्यः पृथिवी सस्यशालिनी देशोऽयं क्षोभरहितः ब्राह्मणाः सन्तु निर्भयाः ओम सर्वे भवन्तु सुखिनः सर्वे सन्तु निरामयाः सर्वे भद्राणि पश्यन्तु मा कश्चित् दुःखभाग् भवेत् असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतङ्गमय ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः